The rain had just begun to fall when Marcus Hale realized this would be one of those nights that pressed a man flat against his limits, the kind that tested whether kindness still had a place in a world that laughed first and looked away later. His hands were already black with grease, his back stiff from bending over engines all day, and his phone buzzed with another reminder from the school about an overdue payment. As a single dad mechanic scraping by in a tired Ohio town, Marcus had learned to swallow humiliation the way some men swallowed pride, quietly and without complaint, because his teenage son Caleb needed dinner on the table more than his father needed dignity. Before this story pulls you in any deeper, take a second right now and like, comment, share, and subscribe if you still believe kindness matters, if you believe second chances can change lives, and if you believe simple good deeds deserve to be seen. Stories like this live because people like you keep them alive. Marcus's small auto shop sat near a strip mall that had seen better decades, its flickering sign buzzing like it was exhausted too. Locals often mocked him behind his back, calling him slow, calling him stuck, calling him the guy who never got out. They did not see the nights he skipped meals so Caleb could eat, or the mornings he woke before sunrise to stretch a few dollars into a full day. They only saw the oil-stained jacket and the tired eyes and assumed his story was already finished. That night, as he locked up, laughter drifted from across the parking lot where a group of teens leaned against polished cars, music thumping, careless and loud. Marcus kept his head down, ready to go home. Then he noticed her. A young girl, maybe 16 or 17, standing alone near the edge of the lot, shoulders shaking, rain soaking through her hoodie. A luxury SUV sat nearby with a flat tire sagging like a wounded animal. The others had drifted off, leaving her stranded with a dead phone and a rising panic she could not hide. Marcus hesitated, knowing the look people gave him when he offered help, the way some assumed his kindness came with desperation. He thought of Caleb waiting at home and the bills piled on the counter. Still, something heavier than exhaustion pulled him toward her. He approached slowly, keeping his distance, explaining with calm gestures that he could help. She looked at him with fear at first, then relief so sharp it hurt to witness. The rain intensified as Marcus knelt in the wet asphalt, his knees soaking through his jeans while he loosened lug nuts with hands that had already given everything that day. He worked quietly, efficiently, as the girl sobbed into her sleeves, overwhelmed by the night, the storm, and the sudden realization of how alone she was. Marcus did not lecture or judge. He simply fixed the tire, checked the pressure, and made sure she was safe to drive. A few onlookers snickered, whispering about the mechanic trying to impress a rich kid, but Marcus ignored them. When the job was done, he waved her off gently, refusing any money she tried to offer, already turning back toward his shop as if the moment were nothing special. He did not know her name then. He did not know she was named Ava Whitmore, or that her mother, Rachel Whitmore, ranked among the wealthiest women in the country, a self-made billionaire known in boardrooms from New York to California. Marcus only knew that a scared child had needed help, and he had done what he hoped someone would do for his own son. The next morning arrived heavy and gray. Marcus made breakfast from the last of the bread and eggs, smiling for Caleb even as worry gnawed at him. At the shop, business was slow. A few regulars came and went, and the same men who mocked him the night before passed by with amused looks, as if replaying their jokes in their heads. Just before noon, Marcus's old phone rang. He almost ignored it, assuming it was another creditor or school notice. When he answered, the voice on the other end was calm, controlled, and carried the weight of someone used to being heard. Rachel Whitmore had spent a sleepless night replaying the image of her daughter crying in the rain, rescued not by security or privilege but by a man with nothing to gain. Ava had told her everything, from the mocking laughter to Marcus's quiet refusal of money. Rachel was a woman who built empires by recognizing value where others did not, and she heard something in her daughter's voice that money could not buy. She asked to meet Marcus, not as a benefactor looking to donate, but as a mother wanting to thank the man who treated her child like a human being. When Rachel arrived at the shop later that day, the contrast was stark. Her tailored coat and composed presence filled the small space, silencing the room. Marcus stood awkwardly, grease-stained and unsure, while whispers spread outside. Rachel looked past the cracked tiles and outdated tools and focused on the man in front of her. She saw the exhaustion, yes, but also integrity worn thin but unbroken. She spoke about Ava, about fear, about gratitude, and about how rare it was to find someone who helped without calculating the return. What followed was not a fairy tale check slid across a counter, but something deeper and slower. Rachel learned about Caleb, about the bills, about the shop that Marcus dreamed of upgrading but never could. She saw how the community underestimated him, and how that underestimation had become a quiet prison. Rachel believed in leverage, and she believed in people. Over the weeks that followed, she invested not just money but trust, helping Marcus modernize his shop, connect with training programs, and secure steady contracts. She never framed it as charity. It was partnership, built on the simple truth that character was the rarest asset of all. The town watched the transformation with disbelief. The same people who once mocked Marcus now lined up for service, drawn by new equipment and a reputation for honesty that spread fast. Caleb's school fees were paid, his fridge stayed full, and the tension that once lived in Marcus's chest slowly loosened its grip. Ava began stopping by the shop sometimes, helping organize, learning engines with curiosity sparked by the night her world tilted. Marcus became something else in the eyes of the town, not because of wealth, but because someone powerful had finally said out loud what he had always been worth. As this story starts to wind toward its heart, if what you've heard so far has touched something inside you, please take a moment to like, comment, and share this video. Your engagement helps stories of quiet goodness reach people who need them most. The real change, though, was inside Marcus. He no longer saw himself as the man left behind. He saw himself as a father his son could be proud of, a neighbor who mattered, a reminder that dignity did not come from bank accounts but from choices made when no one was watching. Rachel never tried to take credit. She simply showed up when invited, applauded from the background, and let Marcus's growth speak for itself. Ava grew stronger too, learning that safety did not always wear expensive suits, and that sometimes the truest protection came from strangers with kind eyes. Just before we reach the end, leave a comment sharing whether you believe one small act of kindness can truly change a life. Your words matter more than you think. On the anniversary of that rainy night, Marcus closed the shop early and drove past the strip mall where it all began. The sign still flickered, the asphalt still bore cracks, but Marcus felt different, grounded and whole. He understood now that the world might mock first, but it always notices eventually. Kindness had answered cruelty, not loudly but decisively, and somewhere between a flat tire and a phone call, a single dad mechanic had learned that doing the right thing, even when it cost you, could echo farther than you ever imagined. If this story moved your heart even a little, please engage with it, because stories like this remind us who we can be when we choose compassion over indifference.